now's the time when things are shifting. There's gonna be a new world order out there. And we gotta lead it.
True internet suffered depression.
You are fake news.
I am not suicidal.
We'll circle back with you directly. If I can circle back, I'll circle back with you. Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Hello and welcome to episode 284 of the Jeffrey and Brian Show. I'm Jeffrey.
I'm Brian.
We're just two guys drinking some beers, talking about what's going on. Yeah, we missed our normal record date. I was not well. I think maybe the yard got me sick, cutting up trees and crap, but oh well, I guess. But a little bit of news happened,
Just
obviously.
a little.
So yeah.
A lot of news, but we'll get to all that.
We'll get to most of the news, yes. Ashley Babbitt, remember her?
Yep, sure do. The only person that was killed on January 6th.
Yes, her family has just received a $5 million settlement from the federal government.
Uh-huh.
So I think that's good, I guess. I mean, she got shot through the throat, through a window that was too small for a person to climb through.
But she was coming in and she was killed. She was worried about Capitol Police. Now, my real question will be, is there any consequences for the Capitol Police officer that actually shot and killed her?
We discussed this when it happened. Nothing happened then. Nothing has happened yet. But you're right. Statute of limitations do not end for homicide. So it is possible for Trump to
because there's no way in reality. I know the police officers will do their thing to protect themselves, but
that thin blue line.
They were in no danger of her trying to climb through the window because she couldn't fit through the window.
Yeah, it was one of those windows you see like next to a door, the real narrow ones that are tall. Yeah, exactly. She wasn't gonna get through that window, and dude just killed her right there in front of everybody. And I don't know. People that listen to our show probably already knew that. The actual details versus what, how many cops? January 6th? Zero. No cops even died. One guy had a heart attack a couple of days later, right?
Yep.
And they blamed the riot for that. Excuse me. Oh, you got so many weird things you turn on. I'm sure they're useful, but I'm like, I keep watching these little bubbles pop up. I'm like, some kind of AI companion is on some kind of.
Well, I've started liking the summaries it creates better than the Zoom AI summaries.
Yeah, use theirs instead of coming up with our own, right?
It's a lot easier, especially after I've been drinking all night.
Yeah, I know. I bet we'd come up with some better titles if we actually sat down before the show and came up with the title on a thumb. Okay, so check this out. The View, which one was it? Sunny Hostin, I think.
Yeah, she refused to be on set.
Well, she was the one. Yeah, Sunny Hostin. She was the one talking all this trash about this white American Pope. And then she finds out he has Haitian roots somewhere in his history. Oh, I love our new black Pope. It's like, first of all, bitch, you hated him an hour and a half ago.
Right, but now that he's got black roots, you love him to death.
Yeah, I was like,
you can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways.
Yeah, that's what actual racism is, when the guy's genetic history matters more than what he's actually doing. But leave it to The View, right? I mean, that's kind of how they roll. All right, so was the guy from 60 Minutes quit a little bit ago, right? The guy in charge of that show?
The executive producer of 60 Minutes, yeah. He stepped down saying they didn't have journalism freedom anymore, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, you can't go and edit news reports or edit interviews and stuff to make the outcome look different. This
is all dealing with Paramount's trying to sell off CBS, or Paramount's trying to sell itself off, and CBS is part of that. And Trump is also suing, trying to sue the shit out of CBS 2 for the interview.
Yeah, I mean, who wants to buy a giant financial liability? You know what I mean? It's like, we buy you, then all of a sudden we have to pay $50 million or something. Well, the CBS News chief has now stepped down concerning all this Trump stuff. I don't think that's going to have an outcome on whether or not Trump pursues.
No, the case goes on.
Yeah,
I don't think he's dropping his libel suit, just because they stepped down.
and this person stepping down is not going to exempt them from possibly being found liable in some way too. But we'll see. President of Harvard had to take a 25% cut because of Trump's cuts.
Yeah, I don't think I mean, they've got so much money in their endowment fund, it's freaking ridiculous. And, they're trying to get everybody to take little pay cuts here and there. And they said they're going to self-fund their research now.
Yeah, Harvard begins self-funding itself as university feels effects of Trump administration cuts. And why aren't they? It's a private school. I still don't understand why the federal government's giving them money, especially when they have billions of dollars.
There's only one college/university in the whole nation that I know of that doesn't take government funding. That's Hillsdale College in Michigan.
Okay.
And they chose to do it that way, so they can do whatever they want. They don't take the GI Bill. They don't
Department of Education means nothing to them.
Yes, exactly.
Which is yeah. Well, I mean, geez, we'll see what happens with the DOE anyway, because Linda McMahon is doing her best to tear it up, body slam it WWE style.
She was brought on to do that. That was her sole purpose of taking the position. Oh, damn it.
So, Brian and I both went to go put body slam it as a possible title at the same time.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like it.
We're both typing it at the same time.
Yeah. Sad news, though. Our beloved character, Norm, from Cheers.
I just got that alert while I was at the VFW tonight. Yep. 76 years old.
That's too bad. That's really too bad. I mean, at least he was old enough to, not be a quote a shame, but come on, everybody has seen Cheers, right?
Oh yeah. It's a place where you go where everybody knows your name.
Exactly. And you know what sucks even more is they tore down the original bar they filmed in Boston. They shut it all down during COVID, and it never opened back up.
Yeah.
But their novelty bar that they named Cheers to look exactly like Cheers is still there and operating. Anyone who's curious, the name of the bar was the Bull and Finch up in Boston. It was a fun place to go, especially because only really locals knew what it was. Everyone all the tourists went to Cheers. Yeah, it's like awesome. Let all them Southerners and them rednecks go over there. And check this out. A handful of MLB players have been reinstated.
We talked about this when Pete Rose passed away, that he should definitely be reinstated so he'd be eligible for the Hall of Fame.
Yes, and I remember saying, this is too bad you had to wait till after he died. But yeah, Pete Rose and, quote, Shoeless Joe Jackson, who were both booted out for gambling.
And I think they said that because they'll be eligible for 2028, if I remember the article right.
I know, but they've been retired so long. Why can't you just do it now, right?
I don't know. There's silly rules in place for this.
Especially, professional sports have all sorts of dumb crap. Like they kicked Pete Rose out for gambling when he never bet against himself or his own team.
Nobody's gambling. So they're both eligible in 2027.
Okay. Well, I bet you they both
apparently they meet once a year, the classic baseball era committee. And then, so not this year, but next year they'd be eligible for candidacy. And I'd be shocked if they both don't get in on the first year that they're eligible.
Yeah, I would be very surprised too, but I wouldn't put it past the MLB
to drag it out a little bit longer,
to wipe their ass with these guys' names, because that's just kind of how these giant corporations operate, So did you see this 8647 thing?
Yeah, of course I did.
Okay, so James Comey found some rocks or seashells aligned on the
Seashells,
beach.
yes, seashells.
Seashells.
Seashells down by the seashore.
Yes, that arranged for 8647, and everyone like best part goes, I think this is some kind of political message. Oh, you mean 86 to 47?
Yeah,
And here's the best part is he's like, well, I've never heard the term 86 before to refer to killing somebody. I'm like, you were the director of the FBI. It's
right.
like, how did you not know this? And I looked into it to find out what the history of 86 someone came from. And I
Uh-huh.
found a couple different sources that I found very interesting. One of
Okay.
them is 8 miles away, 6 feet underground,
Okay.
86. And another one is the mob in New York used to throw people up the 86th floor of the Empire State Building to
Huh.
send a message kind of thing, you know? So I was like, well, that's interesting. But this isn't the first time James Comey has allegedly stumbled across something political.
No, and the problem with him now is that there's a Republican in charge and a Republican AG, so he's going to get a visit from Secret Service. His
Already did.
phone's going to get confiscated, and it's going to get searched. And like they said on the Clay and Buck show, I'll give them attribute for this that they believe that there's going to be other images because nobody just takes one picture with rocks like Seychelles like this. They're guessing there's probably pictures of his friends in some of these photos with the seashells
Yeah, organizing them.
because
Yeah.
he's acting. He apparently he's posted other. Didn't he also did one with Kamala Harris where he randomly found seashells on the seashore where
Yeah.
vote for Kamala.
Yes. Just where does he live that people keep making this seashell art on the beach? You know what I mean?
Oh no.
Have you ever seen anything like that before? Like a message written out in
Never, not in
shells?
my life, and I'm on the beach all the time.
Yeah.
Never,
I mean,
ever in my life. And
I mean, I've
apparently, the
seen.
beach he was at, seashells don't just come up there, organically. That
So yeah, someone probably brought them from home.
yes,
That's even better. There's not even shells on the beach you can go and find to organize it. Well,
right,
I mean, yeah, they were all like perfect shells too.
yeah, and that's another
Just
issue. You don't find perfect shells in abundance on most beaches.
no. Now Situate, Massachusetts, there were shells all over the place at the beach, and they were mostly mussels and various mollusks. The shells are always broken to pieces
Right.
from smashing against rocks.
Yeah.
I will admit, Situate is a very rock. New England is a rocky shore for certain. I mean, like for example, Plymouth Rock, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they were rare. Did you find a shell that wasn't broken?
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean, we used to take the little girl there, our oldest, when we lived up there. Take her out there to go like shell hunting, and she'd spend hours looking for ones that weren't broken and pretty.
Right. Right.
All right. Oh my God, the fucking secretary of the HHS, RFK Jr. went swimming in DC's Rock Creek.
Yep.
The swimming is banned there because of the bacteria levels.
It's been banned forever there. And he said,
Yeah,
fuck that ban. I'm going to prove a point here.
oh my God, all it made me think of it was it Menino jumped in the. No, it wasn't Menino.
I know who you're talking about. I don't
Was it New
remember.
York or Boston when the guy? I think he jumped in the Charles River, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God, nobody swims at the Charles. Fucking the Standells back in the '60s wrote a song. I love that dirty water. Boston, you're my home. Which funny fact about them, they were from San Francisco and had never been to Boston when they had done that song.
That is funny.
All right. Let's get into some local stuff here. What do you guys got going on over there? You guys got cow cuddling, I guess?
Yeah. I believe if I remember right, this is
It's like a petting zoo type thing, right?
yeah, they're gonna offer this is over in Virginia Beach, and they're gonna offer cow cuddling now for the first time.
That just sounds weird to me. Like You gonna lay down next to a cow and like
I laid down no sit down and got trampled by it. So it wasn't a I wouldn't pay for that. It's $15 to get in, and you want to ride the pony is $10. You want to get trampled by a calf, that's free. You know, you just pay the admission, hope for the best.
get kicked to the face. It'll be tons of fun, trust me.
Yeah. I
Oh my
I just
God.
thought this was fucking ridiculous, but whatever, you know.
Well, it's funny because Virginia Beach also is doing this. McDonald's is doing this. You have to be 21 to eat inside, and they have a doorbell you have to ring to get in.
That shows you that McDonald's ain't in a good neighborhood.
Yeah, a bunch of punk ass kids probably wrecking the place all the time, right?
Yep.
Oh my God. You know, if I saw McDonald's, you had to ring a doorbell to be let in and show identification.
I'm
You'd be
not.
like,
I'm not going there.
nope,
I'm
not even
going to.
going to the
I'm going to find
drive-thru.
it. I'm going to find a different restaurant to eat someplace.
Yeah. Yeah, if I'm eating fast food, I'll find the Burger King, half 2 miles away, you know?
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, here we go. You more youngins that
Youngkin.
kids. Yes. Youngins against Youngkin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be a title too. I guess there was a walkout at some kind of
Well, yeah,
commencement
because
ceremony.
VCU decided, this is the college in Richmond, the capital where the governor lives and governs here in Virginia, and they decided to make him their keynote. The administration made the governor, a Republican governor, in a very liberal college, the keynote speaker, and a bunch of people didn't like it, so including professors, they just got up and walked away when he started speaking.
That's kind of messed up. That's See, here's the thing that these dumbass kids
There's
need
no
to realize.
respect for, the other side anymore. And I'm sure
No,
that his speech was not political in any way.
no, it was probably about being a student, right? And like
Yeah,
starting
and
your life.
yeah, exactly.
And that's the thing is these kids probably have no idea what they're upset about. They just know that he's Republican, so I must hate him, right?
Right, exactly.
Shit. Which just
That's
reminds
their
me, like
title.
Hillary Clinton ran her mouth again about
We don't have it in here.
no, but she always runs her mouth. She was saying shit like if the Republicans elect a woman as president, then she'll that woman will be like a slave to the patriarchy. And I was like, and the
Whatever.
Democrats never will because they're a bunch of sexists. Their
And
own party
racist.
won't vote.
Who invented the Ku Klux Klan?
Yeah, exactly. Who fought on the side of the Confederacy? They wanted to keep their slavery. Who voted unanimously against the Civil Rights Act?
Democrats.
Every single one of them. Go figure. It's crazy, man. And then you hear these guys talking. It's like your history doesn't agree with you, but your average person who votes Democrat is typically a default Democrat. They don't know, especially lately. They don't know what's really going on. They just turn on the news and Rachel Maddow says "Orange Man bad." You know,
Well, she only says that like once a month now, so.
true. Okay. Kicks on the TV and listens to Mika Brzezinski. And what's her husband's name? Oh, that's right, Cuck.
From Morning Joe.
Yes, I can't remember his name though. It's Joe something, obviously Scarborough,
Yeah,
right?
Joe Scarborough. Yep. Mhm.
Yeah, and he's obviously some kind of cuck because his wife didn't take his name.
He used to be a Republican.
Yeah, allegedly. So wasn't Liz McCain, or I'm sorry, Liz Cheney, right?
Yeah, uh-huh.
And the McCain girl switched too, didn't she?
Think
No?
so, yeah. I think so.
Yeah. All right. This is interesting. What's going on? I don't In Norfolk right now, it's against the law to prosecute misdemeanor shoplifting. How does that?
Well, yeah, and I there's a big there's a big fight going on of who has the authority to do this. So
It sounds good.
some DAs say, yeah, we can do it, and then there's somebody else in Norfolk who says, no, you can't do it. So
Why can't you prosecute someone for shoplifting? Like that seems crazy to me. That makes it basically not illegal, right?
well, this is okay. This is a city council thing They're voting right now about an ordinance that would allow the city attorney's office to prosecute misdemeanor shoplifting. They're going to change the city code. That would make it a class 1 misdemeanor.
All right, instead of just like I don't know. All right, it
As
just
with
seems
a class 1 misdemeanor would be a misdemeanor with a fine up to $2,500 and imprisonment up to 1 year.
yeah.
If they vote
Just
for it, it would take effect immediately.
yeah, just it just seems weird to me that right now they're saying they can't. Why
Well,
bother having a law you
you
can't?
remember Norfolk is a heavily Democrat controlled city, and shoplifting is good for the economy in Norfolk.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's everyone's not paying taxes because they're stealing
Probably,
TVs and selling them on the
probably,
street.
probably the people in charge there were funded for their elections by George Soros.
That's entirely possible. Uh-huh. And we talked about this meals tax thing, didn't we, in Virginia Beach?
I don't think
Uh,
so.
I think we when they brought it up to discuss it, but it hadn't passed or whatever. I'm guessing it passed,
Yes.
but it only went up 0.5%. I don't see that
Yeah.
affecting your bill that much.
And
You know
I
what I
did
mean?
see a message. I did see a highlight before I started the show tonight that said that the Senate just passed the bill that there would be no tax on tips.
That's a huge mistake. That's a huge mistake. I don't know how everyone doesn't see this.
Well,
It
that's what Trump
sounds,
wants.
I know, but now, okay, I'm a private contractor, right? I'll, a handyman. I'll cut down a tree for you. I'll fix a fence, whatever kind of crap, right? Now I'm gonna go and tell my customers that you can pay me. I'm gonna charge you less. Just throw a tip on it. So now all of a sudden I'm not paying taxes, and it'll happen a lot with a lot of situations.
Well,
Uh,
it's only eliminating federal income taxes, and it's only going to be on specified tip income. So I think there's a
or
lot of restrictions to it. I
in an
think,
attempt to stop just that.
huh?
I said in an attempt to stop exactly what I just said from happening.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I like this idea better of no tax on overtime instead of
That's
more
it.
tax.
I don't know.
You're like, I'm not sure if that's in that. But I like that better because right now you pay more for overtime. It's
Oh, you
something
get
like,
taxed a whole lot more on overtime.
yeah, and at some point when you hit 63 hours or something like that in a week, all of a sudden your next like 3 hours, you're not getting paid for. It's all taxes. It's insane. Why tax someone more for working more? All you're doing is disincentivizing working harder and longer. You know, and the idea of no tax on overtime, now everyone's going to go and work more. We're going to be more productive, right?
Yep.
I don't know. I know if I actually got time and a half instead of actually only like 1.25, I would have done more OT. Uh, all right. All right, moving over west from there into West Virginia, our Governor Morrissey is asking that we stop allowing Snap to pay for soda. And I
I
was under
saw
the impression it
I
already
saw I saw
was.
one state that got approved for that recently. I don't remember. I saw an alert on that. I don't know which state it was, but
I was under the impression you already couldn't buy soda on it, but
no, you can buy pretty much anything that's not hot in the
that's not
deli.
hot. Yeah, which is nuts. You could buy candy with it. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is ridiculous. So yeah, if we got to give you sustenance nutritional assistance through this, why don't you get?
Nebraska's been
Uh,
cleared to be the first state to ban soda and energy drinks from SNAP.
all right.
They
Now,
got a waiver to allow that to happen.
yeah, just I don't know. If you need help because you can't afford food, you should maybe buy food with this money. But
Uh, what about the people that are in the seafood section of Kroger buying their lobster and their
oh my
shrimp?
God, yes, yeah, I know, right?
Those people are eating a lot better than I am for
Oh,
free.
when I was working at a 7-Eleven in Newport News, it would drive me nuts watching these guys roll up in like $60,000 cars,
Uh-huh.
use Snap to buy a bunch of crap, and it's like I know that this dude's turning around and I know he's doing something shady to get the money to buy that car. You know what I mean? Or else you wouldn't qualify for SNAP.
Right, exactly.
And if you got enough money to buy a car like that, for the love of God, buy your own food. Why am I paying for your food?
Exactly, yeah.
Because when I worked at 7-Eleven, I made too much money to be on SNAP.
I make too much money in just my retirement money from the Navy to qualify for
Yes.
SNAP.
Oh my goodness, it's insane. Yeah, then your VA disability on top of that, right?
Yeah.
Oh my criminy, dude, it's insane. Anyway, the state fair is coming around this summer. Obviously, it does it every year. It's like a 2.5 hour drive from where I am, which kind of sucks.
Is it
But
in
I think
Charleston?
it might be. I'm not sure. No, I think it's past Fayetteville.
Okay.
Anyway, Kansas and 38 Special are going to be playing. So I'm a big fan of Kansas. 38 Special did some good music. I'm excited to go see these guys play, and I think my 5-year-old and my 2-year-old will enjoy dancing to this music. You know, Wayward
Yeah.
Son.
Make sure you take them to the truck pulls too.
Yeah, went to the Marshfield Fair 2 years ago. I went to the truck pulls, the horse pulls, the ox pulls, all that stuff because I loved it. The wife was like, "This is the most boring crap in the world." I was like, that horse.
That's what that's what the fair is all about.
I know. But I was like, they got 4 horses strapped up to this sled, and they're
Uh-huh.
kicking and screaming on 2 legs trying to pull this sled. They hook one ox up to it, just walks to the end of it. I was like, that's insane. That one critter was more powerful than 4 horses.
Yeah.
I always had fun with that, especially the trucks, and you get the front end of the truck coming off the ground to pull the sled behind you. Yeah. All right. Let's move on into immigration, and let's see what kind of ridiculous is going on in here.
Oh, we got all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, you've been following what's going on in Newark?
Yeah, congresswomen are getting arrested.
Now, that's state Congress, not federal Congress,
Oh,
right?
okay. Yeah, I
I
think so.
think.
Yeah, I think so
Yeah.
too.
There's so many, honestly, there's so many
I mean,
Congress
these people are so used to having Dems in charge that they think they can just protest willy-nilly and there's no consequences.
Well, the governor was arrested, right? Too. His charges have been dropped. But this Congresswoman McIver, she's on video, close-handed, striking federal agents.
Yeah, that's not going to cut it.
And you can see it. You can see her pushing dudes, punching them, overhanded, like hammer fisting people.
Right.
And she's like, "There's no evidence of that." It's like, "Here's the video." She's like, "That's not a video.
That's a cheap fake."
Yeah, well, then all these freaking news corporations are like, "Oh, well, have a look at it from this angle." And it's like, she's still punching the guy.
Yeah.
And it's real funny because some of these news organizations are like, there's no video. This is all made up. It's a bunch of garbage. And then they don't link, like, oh, it's been debunked. It's like they didn't link in the evidence to debunk it.
Yeah.
You know, and the video is right there for anyone who wants to watch it. She is being charged. So that's pretty good. We'll see where that goes. And they're already, that these Dems love getting arrested, though, when Republicans are in office.
Yeah, because they give them street cred.
Well, that crazy thing, Trump personally didn't arrest these people. You would have got arrested no matter what, no matter who was in office, if you hit a federal agent, right?
Back in the day, yeah, but I mean,
WAPO has arrived.
Oh, really? He said he wasn't coming.
No, I was in the middle of cleaning, so I finished what I had to do and continued.
We talked about this on Saturday.
Dude, you're not a procrastinator.
Oh, yes, I am.
No. I'm a procrastinator about cleaning.
Anyway, I don't even do it. I got a wife for that. So
punch in the gut. That's
yeah. It's a good thing she doesn't listen to the show, huh?
Exactly.
She listens next door.
She listens while we record, so I'm sure I'll hear her shit tomorrow.
What do you have a wife for? Like, to be the greatest woman in the world?
Yeah, that's right. I love her to death.
So the Episcopal Church is refusing to relocate or help these refugees, the Afrikaners.
This is not the actual church itself. It's the charity arm that has been helping refugees and getting paid by the federal government for decades.
Yes. And what was it? 59 refugees were accepted from South Africa.
Yeah.
And these guys went and shut it down over 59 people. Like, we can't be doing this. It's like, dude, 20 million came across the border that you were helping.
Well, Don Lemon's doing the same thing. He had a meltdown about it. You can't open it up to white refugees. That's blatantly, obviously racist. What
They're
the
literally
fuck?
killing these South African folk.
These are people that have had farmland in South Africa they're making it sound like these are recent people. Their families have owned this land in South Africa for decades.
1452 when they first got there. They were there before the Pilgrims.
South Africa wouldn't be what it is, I hate to say it, without England going to colonize the area.
1652, I'm sorry.
It wasn't the English, was the song.
Oh, that's right. It was Denmark.
Yes. Yeah. Holland.
And it was nobody in that area.
Did you see the crazy woman on CNN?
No, I missed
Which
her.
one?
Oh,
every woman on CNN's crazy.
I can't remember her name. She said that first she's like, well, I mean, they're not being, there's no genocide. Like, first of all, there is.
Yes, there is.
And she's like, you know what? They could just go back to where they came from. I send them back to Germany. Like, first of all, then Scott Jennings like, they're not from Germany. And she's like, oh, whatever. They can go back to their ancestral homeland. I'm like, Trump is saying right now with all the people in our country.
Yeah, but that they don't realize that they're being two-faced about it, saying one thing and doing another thing,
It's crazy that you would say that. And again, these folks have been there since 1652.
Yeah.
Right. Almost as long as the Pilgrims were in Massachusetts, right?
And obviously, I mean, nothing against South Africa, but the average American does not know what's going on in South Africa.
No.
There's rolling blackouts in South Africa. Yes. Women are allowed to run red lights after dark in South Africa.
Yeah, to run away from them. Yeah. And they sing a song, Kill the Boer, which is some South African term for white farmer.
Mm-hmm.
And they sing this song. Like, they don't really mean that, though.
But they do. The whole stadium was singing it.
Yeah. As the burning down farmland and exterminating. Oh, yeah, so there's a lot of murders. Yeah, and they're all these same people that are being exterminated.
Right.
It just blows my mind. And oh, my God. Don Lemon is a fucking moron. He lost his job.
What do you think?
I didn't know what network he's on anymore.
No, he's on a network. He's freelancing.
He's online, like John doing a podcast.
Yeah, he tried to go the Tim Pool route.
Yeah, and he's doing all right, but I still watch John Stossel, and I can follow him online.
Yeah, because it makes sense. Like, you know what? Yeah, man, I can see that. Yeah.
I've been following John Stossel though since I was like 15 years old. I've always liked his work, from CNN to CBS to Fox.
And now independent, so everything he does is independent.
Yeah, now he's got no one telling him yes you can do that or no you can't do that.
Yeah, and he even admitted like, dude, I was wrong about this, I was wrong about that, and he corrected himself.
Oh yeah, I love it, and now he's just doing, for the most part, face-to-face interviews.
Oh, does he? Okay.
For the most part, but every now and then he still does like an investigative report. Like he did oh, go ahead.
No, like his little bits and stuff he does. Like, okay, cool, good to know.
Yeah. Well, one of my favorites is he's offering affirmative action prices for like something on the street, and he was recording it, and he's like, he's offering people different prices because this group gets paid less, and all like the wealthy black folk came by like, shut the fuck up, I'm not paying less for that shit than a white person because I'm black. That's so racist.
Yeah.
It's like, what, you think I can't do? I was like, I'm in a suit with like $200 shoes on,
Dude, the one thing it gets me, dude, like, it doesn't happen in the States, but it happened in El Salvador. They got one price for the locals and one price for the foreigners. Like, god damn.
Yeah.
And like, I had to tell we tried to go somewhere with my sister. My sister like, give me the money, I go buy it because they're gonna give you a different price. Like, what do you mean? And I start reading and like, oh, that's what you mean.
Yeah, my accent is not thick enough to get away with being a local.
No, it's no longer like, hold on, what do you say? Oh shit, they got me. I mean, got the face, but not the fucking mouth. You know.
What is it? Entiendas? It means understand.
Entiende.
Oh, look at me. Okay, it's been
Tienda is store.
okay. Yeah, I haven't used my Spanish more than a word or two here or there
Dos
since I was
cervezas,
actually
por favor.
exactly since I was in the Navy.
¿Dónde
¿Dónde
está
está
el
el baño?
Dude, like I watched I got a couple YouTubers that like this guy's from Africa, but he's a US citizen. So he's traveled throughout the Spanish countries and stuff, and he's in El Salvador for a while. Like, oh, cool, you know.
I'd love to go visit El Salvador, dude, for real. Especially now, the way everything's going.
Crime's really bad there.
In El Salvador.
Yeah, don't go.
You need to go. You could be like a congressman and go visit what's his face down there.
Like a lot of people get upset now because houses are getting priced out. A lot of people moving over there now.
Yeah, I believe it.
You own land there, don't you? Your mom does.
Yeah, she does.
Speaking of El Salvador, though, for a moment, did you guys see Bitcoin?
No.
Dude, I don't know where it is now, but last time I looked a couple of days ago, it was like $106,000 a coin.
Damn.
El Salvador should be doing good with their bit mining volcano.
Yeah, they're using a volcano to mine this shit. They must be making money.
I don't know if they went through or not. Like I know they were talking.
I thought they did, but it sounds like a great idea. Use geothermal energy to do it, right? Shoot, when I saw that hit that price, I sold almost all of what I had left. I was like, nope, I'm cashing out. it's gonna fall back down under 100K for at least a while.
Yeah.
All right. That Judge Dugan, the federal grand jury has indicted her in Milwaukee, the one who let that migrant escape out the back when the federal agents were there to arrest him.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's hilarious is she's arguing she can't be prosecuted because she was helping. She said she can't be prosecuted for this because it was like part of her official duties as a judge, just like the president has immunity for doing the job of the president. It's like it wasn't your job to help him evade arrest.
No, it wasn't federal either. It was local judge too.
Yeah.
You know, so she thinks she's above the law.
Right. Well, that's what a lot of judges feel.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have a severe. Did I boot him? Oh, okay, I thought maybe I denied him for a second when I didn't see his little thing pop up.
Oh.
I almost said his name. The repeat offender, right?
Yeah, I sounded a
Oh, he got the name right there.
Yeah, he got his name on there.
We don't have video out there for everybody to see.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh, you won't need it in my head.
He made it home. He's getting ready to drink some Fostas.
Looks like he's sitting in an airplane.
I'll attempt to. It's 17 minutes past 10.
Do a drinking stuff.
10 a.m. It's time to start drinking.
10 a.m.
I'm alive, man. Hey, I like that stubby holder. I like the stubby holder there, bro.
Oh, yeah, my little koozie.
Never
surrender.
Never surrender. I want to get one with his mugshot.
That's the one.
I know. I want to get something like that.
Oh, dude, you coming by? I heard.
What?
You heard you coming by sometime soon?
Probably the next month or so. I'm still paying for a storage unit.
I got an extra one.
You've been paying for the storage unit for a decade.
Almost.
Hold on, you still paying that bill?
Yeah.
No, I got a storage unit full of stuff.
No, you still paying that bill?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I still have stuff in it. Like I have a refrigerator, a fucking stove.
If you haven't needed it for a decade, do you need it?
Well, he got an extra garage, don't you?
I got a 2-car garage. I'm gonna put a fridge out there because I got one downstairs here. I got one upstairs. I'm gonna put one in my garage.
Hell yeah.
Then I'm gonna turn around and sell my washer and dryer and all this other garbage I don't need anymore.
Yeah.
Your backyard's a wilderness, brother. Your backyard's a wilderness. Make a shed.
You installing this stuff to wash your clothes.
Throw a canopy over and we'll sit there with Coolio and drinking Fosters.
Which you can only get it out back.
Yeah.
That's my Saturday night motto, boys. Never surrender.
All right. Anyway, this judge has been what's the word here? Arraigned and she has pled not guilty.
Yes. Yep.
And I don't know how she can get away with this besides other than the jury will be liberal and will just not care. But I don't.
Well, it's in Milwaukee, so there is a distinct possibility of that happening.
Yeah. But luckily, it's a federal charge she's getting hit with, so they can just change the venue because she can't get a fair trial.
Right.
So
just
we'll
like they did with all
goes.
the January 6 people,
which is nuts because they didn't
they didn't
Derek
change
Chauvin.
anybody's trial location for January 6th. Not a one.
Well, they did Derek Chauvin. They didn't change it, and the judge even said, "Well, the judge said he's not going to get a fair trial anywhere in the country because this is all over the news." I'm like, then
Right.
technically speaking, you can't prosecute him if you can't give him a fair trial,
Right?
According to our laws.
But they don't care about that.
No, and just like this rumor that Trump was going to pardon Chauvin, he's not.
It's the state.
It's just not going to happen. That would be political suicide for whoever's
not right
running behind him.
now. Maybe closer. He might pull Biden and pardon him on his way out the door.
Well, did he get the federal? I mean, the local state charges.
The state, he owes 20-something years to the state anyway.
Okay, well, it won't matter then.
Yeah, so he's gonna sit in the can either way. They'll just go and as he walks out of the federal facility, they're just gonna arrest him. And bring him over to where is it? Maryland?
No,
where was that?
That's a Milwaukee.
I think it's a Minnesota thing.
Minnesota.
Wisconsin.
Yeah,
Chauvin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where
Tampon's area.
Yeah, Tampa's area. Tampon.
All right. Well, the Supreme Court is allowing Trump to end the protections from deporting these Venezuelan migrants.
Yes.
Good. I don't understand what's up with these lower court judges doing this.
Well, and we're, and that's what's going to come to head here real soon, because they're arguing that a district court, and we talked about this on the show many times.
Yes.
That a district court judge should not be able to make a nationwide injunction. They can make an injunction that affects their area and the people that they're trying to protect, but not nationwide.
There's nothing in the Constitution about a universal injunction. No. It's not mentioned once. They have no authority to do this, but it's happened so many times.
Circuit court would have a lot more legs to stand on to do that than a district court.
But the judges are a court is only allowed to make rulings on people in their courtroom or involved directly with the trial. You can't go and say everyone else. That's essentially writing a law from the bench.
That's what they're doing. That's what they've been doing ever since Trump became president the second time.
And Article 3 does not mention that anywhere in it that these judges can just write laws. The judge is supposed to interpret the laws.
And when the Supreme Court rules on this, get ready for the pity party that happens on all the liberal media.
Did you see Marco Rubio being grilled by that congressman who went over to bloody El Salvador? Did you see that? I posted it today. He turned around, he got up, this guy, he said, there's no judge out there can tell me who to go and talk to, what to do. He said, I'm doing it for the people of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
There is no district court judge who's got any authority to tell me where to go and who to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah, separation of powers. You got federal, judicial, and the executive,
legislative, not federal, but yeah.
Yeah.
And I tried to read some of this article about the 7 takeaways from the birthright citizenship court case.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't even. It was the driest read I've read. I'm usually pretty good at that stuff. I have no idea what this thing says. Honestly, I don't care until it's all done.
There is some pushback from the Supreme Court, according to the people that were there and the questions that were asked.
Yeah, it seems okay.
But in my mind, is a no-brainer. The reason why this whole came up, the way I understand it, is this was about slavery
Yeah, so the people that were plucked from Africa and brought to America, the Buffalo Soldier,
Uh-huh.
would become citizens after this war was over. That was
Right.
the entire point of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it morphed from there. There's only one other country on the planet that has you're born here, you're a citizen.
Which
Right.
one's that?
Exactly.
Canada.
Really? Oh,
And who's going to? I mean, don't get me wrong. Canada's complaining.
Nobody's trying to get to Canada.
Yeah, some people are, but all you need. Oh, Ron's gone. You only need a couple 100 people to show up to Canada to really screw up the population up there. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Right.
And something like 60% of the population lives in Toronto or something.
Well, you got to go to the language, dude. Like, what was the language? Something says.
I'm hoping that Trump pulls this off and the Supreme Court agrees with him, because it would definitely. I mean, we're still going to be where people want to come to get here and make a better life for themselves, but it would definitely disincentivize people coming here
Anchor
with their
babies.
pregnant women and having babies here, thinking they're the anchor baby that will keep
Well,
everybody here.
That's what Obama was doing with his deporter in chief thing. He was trying to stop the anchor babies, because we had a mass flux
Well, he
of
didn't
Chinese.
try very hard, because he could have fought the birthright citizenship too.
But yeah, he don't want to. He don't want to rattle the tree,
Oh, excuse me. Right now, what they're saying is at least one parent has to be a citizen. And I was like, all right, or not even.
I agree with that. I don't have a problem with
permanent
that.
resident, at least a legal permanent resident. And I was like, okay, all right,
I don't agree with that. I agree with that. I could see that, but this whole thing where, hey, China is going to fly a charter plane full of pregnant women to San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have their babies here, and now they're citizens, and the mothers are going to be grandfathered in, and now we can bring the rest of the family over too, because they're all local.
China could be way more sinister, dude. Well, first of all, exactly, fly a couple jumbo jets full of pregos over, right?
They've done it.
I know, but I'm saying pop out all your babies in our hospitals. Don't pay the bill, so make it more expensive for everyone else.
Yeah.
Then go back to China, right?
Well, they do in California. Their bills are paid for by the
taxpayers.
The taxpayers. California it covers illegal immigrants. Medicare.
How pissed would you be if these folks are getting free health care and you're paying for your health insurance? It's like, this
which is $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
We're all kind of spoiled because we're all on military medical here. My bill's like $26 a month for me and my wife.
Dude, we're still paying off the birth of our second child.
It wasn't covered by TRICARE?
Oh, a lot of it was. But all the stuff that went in, like your health insurance never covers 100% almost, right? Depending on what insurance you have.
I had Virginia State, my wife, my ex-wife went through the state of Virginia or something like that, so we had to pay nothing.
Yeah. All right.
And I think honestly, let me go back on that citizenship. Sure. It should be back into the states too. Let's say for instance, what was it like? Something like, in order to you have some kind of privilege in the state, you have to be born in that state, but you have to be what was it like? So I was thinking about it, like, what, it should be by state too. Like anybody, healthcare in the state. No, anybody just can come into Virginia and just have healthcare, low prices. Like, no, you come from Maryland or North Carolina.
Oh, just like college, in-state versus out-of-state tuition, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
In order for you to have a price difference between the other states, you need to be in Virginia at least 10 years in Virginia, contribute to the economy in order to get that privilege for the low price.
10 years, that's a long time.
Why? Who's to say who's going to be here for 2 years, 3 years?
Hey, no, I'm not disagreeing. I'm saying 10 years is a long time.
Hey, that's what I said. Like, you know what? Like, if we come out with Virginia come out with a system like, hey, in-state, like a healthcare is so efficient. We don't need somebody. Yeah, we don't need somebody from Maryland or North Carolina, West Virginia to come in and take advantage of it.
Driving across the border to use to get your surgery done and taken off.
6 months, because it takes 6 months to get a driver license. That's the thing.
What?
Like, well, I think a bill or something like that. Like, hey, I live here. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's all I had to do here. In West Virginia, all I had to do was
you
show
got
mail.
Canadians that are coming across the border to get MRIs, and you got, people from America going into Canada to get their prescription drugs.
That's what I like. The system you sucking them
because the prescription drugs are so much cheaper in Canada.
No, I heard the other way around.
They regulate the crap out of it.
Yeah, but you know what?
Well, Trump's trying to fix that.
It's even in state, you need to have some system like, hey, you know what? We come out with a good system. In order for you to take advantage of that system, you have to be in the state for 10 years or 5 years, whatever they come out,
Or a net taxpayer.
Something like that, yeah.
You have to actually pay more into the system than you use in terms of like
let's
emergency
you know what?
services.
You live in West Virginia, but you like Virginia system. You could contribute to a system like enroll in a system, paying it, and you could come back and forth.
Yeah, there you go. As long as you're paying into the system, you're not just taking advantage of it. But I want to finish that point I had about the Chinese ladies popping out babies.
Yeah,
sure.
Fly them all over, get them all to have a baby right away. Take them back home. Take the kid back home too, right? Raise the kid to be a communist. Then at 18, you send them over here for school or whatever. They stay here as citizens and get into politics.
Yeah,
well, we got more communist politics.
Yeah, exactly. And that sounds like a problem to me, to have people doing something like that just to be able to get there to take over the government, essentially. And
yeah, that's definitely a problem.
Yeah, and a lot of folks don't think this far in advance. They just let them in.
Yep. It's like your colleges and the people coming out with visas and that, mate. Imagine what they do after they graduate through college and that. They come in all these bloody indoctrinations in them from around the world. Then they become US citizens. Then they run for Congress.
Oh yeah, you can start on a lower level, right out of college, get into working at local politics, and slowly work your way into a situation where you're running for federal office. You know what I mean? When you're 35, and then when you're 60, maybe even try to run for president. They're citizens; they can.
Yeah, people don't realize a visa is a privilege. It's not a right.
Well, that's what that's what drives me nuts. These folks you can't just kick them out. I'm like, I don't know, man. How long, you let someone into your house, right? And they're drinking your beer, eating your pizza, sleeping on your couch because they need a little bit of help. But all they're doing is urinating on your fucking carpet, talking shit about your way of life. It's like, get the fuck out of my house. And I just don't understand why people don't extrapolate this out to a federal level.
They don't care.
Well, let's get some of these folks to go live in these assholes' houses. And no, you can't kick them out because that would be racist.
Exactly.
See what Guapo is sending out. He's sending us Instagram stuff, I guess.
No, wait. It happened in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas gym shooter.
Oh no, I didn't. I did not see that, but I did see Katy Perry just got fired from her job at Las Vegas as the talent at one of these casinos.
No. This guy was leaving the fucking shooting, and he had a rifle with him. The fucking you can see the sheriff just shooting his ass out.
Right in the.
Well, no, he was running away. He just shot him like fuck it because he had a rifle in his hand.
Oh yeah. Now I guess if the guy had just shot, but
they just took a mass shooting. He shot people in the back. Shooting. Yeah. Daniela Ortega, 34, went to into LVA gym, Las Vegas, armed with a rifle, fired 24 rounds, killing one and injured several more. His rifle jammed. He attempted to run away with it, and Las Vegas police officers neutralized the fucking. Neutralized
this is the problem: is these idiots. And I'm glad it's I'm glad it's dumbasses doing this, because for real, if I had a giant crowd and a rifle and I wanted to hurt people, I wouldn't be on the street just going bang, bang, bang. That's what you do with a handgun. Yeah. If you want to actually hurt people, you go up on the fucking balcony on a building on the 10th story and you take your aim, you know what I mean? And pop. That happened a couple years ago in Vegas, didn't it?
Yeah, like at the concert.
Dude went nuts from an elevated position, killed like 10 people or something.
Like the concert, something like that.
Yeah. And I'm like, geez, one guy actually knew what he's doing.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
And then I'm glad they're always saying it's the right wing that does this shit, but right wingers are the guys that own rifles, are the guys that go deer hunting and can shoot.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and usually we find out these people are now lately they've been like transgender or I hate Trump when they're doing this stuff. So
Because the fucking news is scared the shit out of people do about stuff.
yeah, see, that's the thing though. It's not that hard to actually listen to what these folks actually said instead of listening to what the news says they said.
Joe, did you hear about Joe Rogan? He was thinking about the guy from Maryland was actually a citizen.
Everyone did.
It's
Everyone
it's
did.
funny how instead of saying United States citizen, they say the Maryland man.
Maryland, man. And they finally
course
stopped
they did.
doing that because they got blown up.
Yeah.
Because like, oh, they deported an American. It's like, no, they didn't. Like, oh,
No,
he's from
they said-
Maryland. He's like, no, he lived in Maryland.
He lives
He's
in
No,
from
he is
Maryland.
not a Maryland. He's not a Maryland.
But it's
citizen.
funny how he never was a United States citizen. No, he's the Maryland man.
Yeah, and he had
Yeah.
2 orders of deportation on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pam
And
Bondi
he
put
even
out an
admitted
official
that.
tweet.
What's that?
Pam Bondi put out an official tweet about it, so that shut up a few of the bloody left-wing media.
All right. I didn't see that.
Mm.
But yeah, it's yeah, exactly though. He had 2 orders of deportation, and in one of these hearings, he actually admitted that he could be deported at any time for any reason. And these folks are going nuts yelling due process. Do these folks know that due process is not a Latin term like mens rea or
No,
corpus callosum? Due process is the process due to individuals, and illegal migrants don't get a fucking jury trial before deportation. They don't.
Nope.
At most, they'll get a hearing to decide whether or not they it's safe to deport them. And like El Salvador, crime is gone, so you don't have to worry about the barrios from Guatemala or wherever it is. That's next door, right?
It's 18th Street.
Yeah, 18th Street barrios. I thought.
Just down 18th Street. And
whatever.
They're both.
He was worried about a rival gang killing him.
Yeah, they're both born in LA, and because of this is back in the 90s. Bill Clinton was deported a lot of illegals. Well, what happened when they deported a lot of illegals because of the two they deported a lot of illegals that were gang members, so that's how it infiltrated in El Salvador. You know, but they started because they're getting picked up by like the hood and stuff like that, so they created their own little gang, and one thing left another. You know.
All right. So Chris Murphy, don't recognize the name. I guess he's a Democrat senator. He's now saying that he believes Joe Biden declined cognitively when he was in office. It's like, no shit.
You go to see this shit on TV?
What this? Oh my God! This is what the other side of the aisle has been saying the whole time, and you guys were calling them conspiracy theorists. Like, first of all, what's the conspiracy that Joe's not well? That's not a conspiracy. For some reason, the term conspiracy theory has come to mean like crazy idea, not a theory that people are conspiring. You know?
Yeah.
Well, you see what they're actually doing now? They're actually going back. They're taking seeing how much time it takes to write each individual pardon, how long it would have taken, because it's got to be. It takes about 10 minutes because it's got to be witnessed before the president.
He was doing it all by auto pen.
Yeah, and now they're going through it and they're doing each one individually and seeing how much time it would have taken.
Yeah, how long?
I think
40-something days, I think it was.
Oh my God.
24 days. I could have read it wrong, but it was over a few weeks periods. That's how long it would have taken him and the amount of time he had allotted to do it.
I think from now on, every part of it need to be signed and like a second. Like I like the way Trump does it. Every second order, he's in front of the video,
in front of the camera, signing it for everybody to see.
So we can see. You know what? It should be a fucking mandate for now on. Just to know.
Actual pen in hand.
Pen in hand, we can see you. You know, and pardon. And now it's getting like diluted to like, you know what? It's gonna be a fucking pen in hand and camera too, dude.
Well, the ramifications behind it is if it's not done correctly, do those pardons then become null and void?
Yeah.
Well, we'll definitely get to that because I have a lot to talk about that when we get to another topic in this block here. Jake Tapper has now come out with new materials talking about the mumbling and bumbling Joe being incoherent and how like his own staff had to hide him. This is again what the everyone who wasn't a hardcore Democrat was saying. And Tapper was one of these idiots running cover. Like he wrote a book about this, and he's like, "Oh, I'm blowing the whistle on all this, media corruption." It's like,
yeah,
dude, that
because
was
you need to make money. He's a fucking drifter, dude.
He's a scumbag, we call him in Australia. Scum.
Scumbag, yeah.
Well, now Biden's been diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer that is already metastasized
they
to
want
the
to win
bone.
sympathy. He got cancer. Like, okay.
Oh no, this started a shitstorm, dude.
Yeah.
Because you don't just find out you have
No,
stage 4 cancer
they're
to the
saying
bone. Like typically speaking, prostate cancer to get to your bone can take 10 years.
Yeah. So people are saying that this was known when he ran. Basically, they're saying this was known when he was running for vice president.
What was it?
And that's why Obama endorsed Hillary over him.
And when he said, "You don't have to do this, Joe," when he was going to run a second time.
But he was the fucking token white guy.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. She could have picked anyone to not be Trump, and they picked Joe Biden and then Kamala Harris.
Yeah, well, Kamala Harris wasn't picked. The rumor going around that I've heard on different podcasts was that they expected Biden to win the second time, and then come out with his cancer diagnosis, and Kamala Harris was now the first African American female president by default.
Well, and what's crazy is I want to say androgen, but it's not. It's something else that's similar. Starts with an A. It's the most common and most effective treatment for prostate cancer. The side effects are slurred speech, mumbling, falling down, and cognitive decline. And these are all things we saw from Joe through his term as president.
Yeah, well, he's just going. I mean, he's just going to see now, dude. I'm sorry. I don't.
Well, it might have been the drugs they were giving.
Even helping them. No, it doesn't matter. It probably even helped more. But God, like honestly, I give it props. He took a lot of beating, dude, to get to where he is, dude.
Well, yeah, I mean, and he showed up to a press conference or something. He had the creases on his face from having a mask on, and like, oh, that's from his CPAP. And I'm like, how long does that mask mark stay on your face after you get up? Like
an hour,
10 minutes, maybe an hour. Yeah, probably 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Give it a good scratch, get the blood flowing, it'll flush back out.
Yep. I wear a CPAP, so I know.
Yeah.
They abused the hell out of this old man, dude.
Well, yeah,
I think Jill did.
I don't feel
Jill
sympathy.
was more the abuser than anybody else because she liked the power of being the
second lady, first lady.
The first lady.
Yeah, no, she was president. Are you kidding me?
She was president, mate. She was president.
Dude, I heard Hunter Biden the one to make the shot calls and stuff.
Oh yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, he was going into cabinet meetings, wasn't he?
Dr. Jill.
Early on. Not a medical doctor, obviously, because she would have noticed the prostate cancer.
Probably she knows. She just didn't care. She didn't care. She liked to be empowered, dude.
She was a doctor of education.
This is why you hate being a staffer, because somebody's going to have to do some time. They always go to the staffers.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, obviously, someone else is going to take the ball. Yeah. But it took more than the staff to cover up Joe. The media was obviously involved. Even Jake Tapper is saying that. You know what I mean? You got tons. Axios just got an award from the journalist guys for pointing out that we missed that one. How did we miss it?
You know what? You suck because we can see it. That's why we bought him out.
Yeah, it's right in front of me. I brought.
Well, we didn't vote him out. We voted against Kamala.
He didn't even vote him out.
Yeah,
I thought you guys voted against KJP and Peppermint Patty.
So I mean, now they're. What do you think is going to happen with the pardons that were done by AutoPen?
Well, here's
anything.
When you were peeing or whatever you were doing,
I was definitely peeing.
Okay, I brought up how the side effects of the most common and effective prostate cancer medication include cognitive decline.
Okay.
Which, if they gave it to him, which might be why they didn't tell us any of this stuff, and his mind was falling apart, fuck the auto pen. He didn't know what he was signing.
Right.
It's just nothing's gonna happen with the auto pen. I'm sure.
Well, another hilarious thing about this whole process is is that if you go back and look at all the previous presidents' medical exams every year, they talk about the prostate. They talk about his PSA numbers. They talk about all that. Joe Biden in his 4 years of president, those numbers never came up once.
And he refused to take that Montreal cognitive exam or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But Trump did it every year.
Mm.
Well, they're saying he's slipping mentally. He's like, he's showing you paperwork from doctors saying he's not.
Yeah.
Joe refused to, and I watched him say, next no resident.
You really need to start working on the new intro sooner rather than later.
I know I do, but
I'm afraid we're gonna lose our main character sooner rather than later.
I'm just saying that I got a lot of yard work I've been doing.
I'm just saying I think Biden will be the next ex-president to pass away.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I just want to see him take that golf challenge up against Trump. I just want to see him play.
He's not going to happen. Not going to happen.
A couple of years ago, Trump offered it to the challenge to play golf.
Joe can't walk without. He falls upstairs. He falls off bicycles when he
wears special shoes and he still can't make it anywhere.
You're gonna hand him a fucking golf club?
Not gonna happen.
car.
President Trump golfs every weekend that he's available to golf, and he's almost as old as President Biden was. So.
Oh! Did I just hear someone use the respect of a president who's no longer in office and call him president and not former president?
Yes, I like to do that. You know, I know that the media hates it because they never called Trump the former president when he was the former president. But they'll call every other former president the former president.
No. They've always called him like President Obama. Then as soon as it came to Trump, like former President Trump, because they didn't want to call him President Trump.
Clinton was former president, still is.
No, but they still call him president. They still call him President Clinton, though.
That's not how it works.
Yeah, it is.
They still call him Mr. President.
You're supposed to. Trump's the only one they started calling former president.
Okay.
I don't like it. It should be like Mr. whatever, Mr. Trump or Mr. Clinton. At least give it that honor, you know.
I say you should keep calling him president because it's the right way to do it.
Nah.
Whether or not you like the person, they were still elected by the people.
That
Secretary of State Clinton.
Like Mr. Mr. Clinton, Mr. Obama, but at least that's it, dude. No more.
All right.
You know.
All right.
Even Congress.
This didn't make the show on Saturday because there was no show on Saturday. But
and even if we did have a show on Saturday, it happened at 9:00, which is
after Ray and I talked about this on our private Zoom chat.
Oh, as soon as I saw it, I shared it to the group, and then like 10 minutes later, you shared it to the group.
I was drunk by that point and passing out.
Yeah,
this is like crazy.
I was at the couch like, "Hey, Brian, we need to go." Like, yeah, we need to go.
Yeah, we need to go. But
I have no idea how to pronounce the name of. Do you know how to pronounce that, Guapo?
Hell no, dude. That's Aztec shit, dude.
Anyway, the Mexican Navy.
They have a big sailing ship. Yes.
And 2 died, a bunch were injured because it was like an old tall ship design.
Yeah. And there were people like up in the mast
on the mast.
In port.
Yeah, they were getting hauled back.
And they're saying that the ship lost propulsion. There was a tugboat right next to it, so I don't know why.
They were pulling it. They were pulling it behind, and that's why that makes sense. Like there was no sails. There was like they were not motorboating because it doesn't got motorboat.
They do have an engine on it.
I don't know about the Mexican ship.
No, they do.
No,
and they were trying.
All those fucking ships have motors on them these days.
Okay, are you with the Constitution?
the Constitution is a completely different critter. That's an old ship versus.
Yeah, this is fucking wooden ship too. I don't know.
I don't know if this ship is old or not, but
Hmm.
I haven't seen the actual Constitution in a long time. I've seen.
I know they get talked about. It's supposed to get like good wind condition to just lower this, raise the sail, whatever.
The
But
problem is, you know how tall your ship is. You know how high the fucking bridge is. You know when high and low tide are, right?
Somebody
But
fucked
if
up.
they lost propulsion and they weren't in the channel anymore,
There's
that's a whole other
videos,
thing.
different videos. The tugboat was pulling it back.
I've seen 2 tugboats, but I couldn't see any lines attached to the ship. So I don't.
Usually
I'm
they
saying,
never. Yeah. But it's just.
When the tugboat's that close, you should see lines.
you see something.
No, they were the
but-
distance. They were like at least, I want to say 100.
One tugboat was literally right next to the ship in the video I saw.
Yeah, and I believe that was the one that tried to turn the ship.
And I think
Okay.
did they have a captain too? A pilot.
No, they did not have a harbor
A
pilot
pilot.
on board. The captain was in charge.
So the captain make the call.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the one. Fuck.
Yeah, how much is this going to cost in Mexico?
Well, there's no damage to the Brooklyn Bridge. So.
The bridge took no
but
damage.
it's
It
fucking
just snapped the
life
mast
and
off.
fucking
No damage.
the mass and shit destruction.
Jeez, oh my god.
I mean, if the
And-
captain was in charge, he's the one making the calls.
But
he's-
if there was actual loss of power, it's out of his control.
Well, that's the thing. They don't got motors. So how the fuck if they got?
We
motor?
don't know they don't have a motor.
I remember hearing someone talking about it somewhere, and I think they even have CRP on this thing, controlled reversible propellers, so you can actually go full reverse. But I'm not certain.
But I heard the current was really bad at that time of night, and so that would there was no really controlling it once they lost propulsion.
No, because you can see it's going back towards the walkway.
Yeah,
under the bridge, and that because it's just like it was just in lost control.
Oh well, hold on. It was the current that took it under the bridge. It wasn't supposed to be headed in that direction.
What direction was it supposed to go in?
I'm not sure. Honestly,
it was
happened right next to the shore.
So was it?
It just left the pier. And
4 minutes. 4 minutes from casting off to hitting a bridge.
At least they didn't tear down the bridge like the cargo ship did in Baltimore.
Well, I brought that up to the wife. She's like, I don't remember that. I was like, what are you talking about? Fix the bridge.
We talk about this show. You need to listen more often.
Yeah. And all I think was like, if the Brooklyn Bridge took damage like the bridge in Baltimore did,
it didn't take damage.
Oh my god, I can't imagine.
Because the only thing that hit the
much
bridge was the mass of the sailing ship, the Mexican ship.
So it didn't even dent any of this steel?
No, they already brought out the inspector. The bridge was closed for hours after the attack.
Yeah.
After the accident, but inspectors found no damage.
Could you imagine being stuck in New York for hours when you just want to go home?
No, this is Monday morning, dude. Like this is
okay, so you can't get to work.
Yeah. Hey, I cannot make it because like probably everybody knew. Hey, look.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like, can you imagine if it actually damaged the bridge to the point where it had to like be repaired? How much commerce is getting cut off because you don't have people going to work or home from work or shopping on Fifth Avenue? You know what I mean?
Yeah. But hold on.
And meanwhile, Chuck Schumer, this fucking genius.
Oh yeah, he's a brilliant man.
Blames Trump for it.
How?
Doge.
Apparently, Doge.
What's Trump's fault?
Doge. Apparently, the government efficiency somehow lowered the bridge.
Oh, it's not a fucking drawbridge.
Oh my god. Oh yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to
I do think that the tides played a role in it. I think somebody misread the tide chart and went out at the wrong time because it looks like it just hit the bridge. It's not like it's not like it was like a huge mistake.
So
when it wasn't in the middle of the river, the ship was like close to the shore.
Okay.
So for those people that know, is the Brooklyn Bridge will go from Brooklyn to downtown New York, where the
Manhattan,
financial district is.
Manhattan.
So that's an essential bridge. Like, yeah.
Isn't Manhattan another island?
No, Manhattan's another island.
Yeah.
The boroughs.
Brian said to Manhattan.
No, yeah.
Where'd the bridge go? Where does Brooklyn
Manhattan is
Bridge
the
go?
island itself, and Brooklyn is another
mainland New York.
Yeah, no, Manhattan is the island. It's a
okay,
Yes.
where does the Brooklyn Bridge go to and from?
From Brooklyn to
Manhattan.
Okay.
For some reason, I thought it went to mainland New York. My mistake.
Yeah,
my apologies.
Well, he said financial district. That's what narrowed it down to mean.
Okay, I was just thinking downtown. My mistake.
Yeah,
honestly, I've never been on the Brooklyn Bridge.
No, it goes from Brooklyn, which is like attached to Long Island. Okay.
Long Island.
Long Island to downtown Manhattan.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. No sleep till Brooklyn, right?
No. Every time I go to upstate New York, that's one of the songs play.
You crank that tune up.
Oh yeah. Enough. A sad thing to say. I did it once to go to New York, and that's when one of the guys died. Like, damn.
All right. Did you see this? What the Army's doing?
Yeah.
They've abandoned their helicopters, and they got in this quote radical new assault aircraft or planes, basically. And I think these planes have vertical takeoff too, though, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Like an Osprey.
Yeah, well, I mean that's a lot quicker, or a Harrier or
long
a 35.
range. It'll go more long range.
I think
and faster, probably.
Yeah, but it's still like this. This like the jungle, dude. You're not gonna have that much room to land a plane.
Yeah, if it can land vertically. And what jungle are you talking about?
Fucking jungle, the a Huey can land down.
Yeah, that's a good point. It would be a good idea to keep some helicopters in case you're in another jungle conflict.
Because it's like a little but it's like you don't want to get rid of why you gonna take a machine gun when the back they do the work,
Yeah, I know you're right. I mean, it's not like they're getting rid of the helicopters they already have.
Yeah. Because you're still gonna need the Cobra and the Apaches and stuff like that. Assault attack.
All right. Now this next one, the only reason why I even clicked on this article was because it was Air Force, but it made me think of El Matadoro.
Uh-oh.
Well, a UFO crashed into an Air Force fighter jet over Arizona, but it was some kind of drone. It was just unidentified at the time. What's going on with our military pilots crashing into stuff in the air?
Exactly.
What are you doing here? I almost never happened ever. I think Ron is frozen. This is like never happened before. I've never heard of these mid-air collisions until relatively recently. Oh, there you go. Looks like he unfroze. Hey, oh my god! It's one thing like a drone that probably didn't even show up on your radar if it was a small enough one.
But it was in a restricted airspace. It was literally in like a military airspace base where this drone was, where it wasn't supposed to be.
Well, if that's the case, you should have high, very sensitive radar technology to be able to see the guy coming over and taking pictures of your military base, right?
Well, I think they're gonna take notice of me. This is probably the first time, so
of course, I mean, I don't think anyone gives a shit if they're taking pictures of the stuff because the Chinese flew a fucking balloon across our entire country. We waited till it took pictures. We waited till it took pictures of everything to shoot it down. We let it get across the whole country before we shot it out of the sky.
New administration, hopefully things change.
Yeah, criminy, dude. Yeah. Anyway, a little bit of happy news. Trump gave a 104-year-old World War II vet. Dude's name is Denver Moore. Gave him a birthday message after the dude invited him to his birthday party.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, 104. I want to hear this guy's stories. You know what I mean? Because not many left still alive that served in World War II.
No, they're dying. They're dying fast because they're old.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 1943. What was the like peak conflict.
I mean,
And
we
you have to
had
be at least-
several at our VW. We had like 3 or 4 at our VW post, and they all passed away within like the last year and a half. So
yeah, because they're all like 100 years old, right?
yeah, they're over 100.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm excited for this guy. I'd love to hear his stories, but I'm never going out to wherever this guy lives to talk to him because I don't care that much. All right, so everyone, what are your opinions on Qatar giving Trump a jet for Air Force One?
Save a
I
taxpayer money.
don't see it happening.
Not if you don't think it's going to happen. What do you think of the idea of it happening?
I don't care.
They didn't give it to Trump. They're giving it to the nation.
But
Yes.
they're not giving it to the nation because they already said when he leaves office, it gets donated to his museum.
Okay,
Don't even
So that's basically giving it to Trump.
there could be a skeleton fucking plane. I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah.
Well,
The
he
thing
better
is-
never.
In order to convert this plane to do what anything close Air Force One does, they basically got to gut the plane.
You have to
and-
gut the plane to make sure that they don't have any devices to take over the aircraft or listen to and record what you're
Yeah,
doing as
and it's
president of the
also
United
supposed to be able to sustain a nuclear attack.
States.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think, like, yeah, whatever.
Well, no, it's designed to be able to be in the air when the ground's being nuked. If you hit this thing with a fucking nuke, it's gone.
yeah. Anything with it.
Well, you know what I mean.
Didn't Clinton get a helicopter from the Saudis?
Did he?
He still got it. Yeah.
I don't.
Pretty sure he
Well,
did.
that's.
What? Let me
I'm
look
pretty
this
sure that's
up.
accepting a gift from a foreign nation. Isn't that against the
And they're
law?
also saying that this plane, it's only going to be able to be used as Air Force One in the continental U.S., and it's going to need require fighter jet support everywhere it goes.
Oh, the Air Force One always has fighter jets escorting it, though. Always.
Snoop was like Bickler did not receive a 17 million helicopter from the Saudis.
Snoop
So-
said that did not happen.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Don't know
don't
how
see
much
it
it was.
happening. I mean, it's a great. I almost think it's like Trump doing what Trump does and like pushing the buttons to freak people out. in
Well,
the
when they were worried
media.
about this, he's passing he's getting other stuff passed through, right?
Yes.
Yep.
But I think it's against the law. I'm pretty sure it's against the law.
You're gonna the Amala gets cruise.
No, I think like you can receive gift, but it had to be to this country, not to the like.
Not to the
Like-
person.
Yeah, not to the person. Yeah, like.
Well, if it's going to go to his private museum after, it sounds like it's to him, not the nation.
Exactly.
And yes, you're right. The nation can accept gifts. Look at the cherry blossoms in D.C. Look at the Statue of Liberty. You know what I mean?
Oh, they're trying to take the Statue of Liberty back.
Oh my. Oh, the French.
Well, oh my God. Let me use an old racist term that we haven't used in a long time. Are they a
Indian
bunch
giver.
of fucking Indian givers? They took the side of these freaking natives back in the French and Indian War, didn't they? They picked up too many lessons from these folks. Oh, we sold you Oklahoma. You know, it's like, well, we didn't know what we were selling yet. It's like, well, you did, so fuck you guys. Get out of here. It wasn't Oklahoma.
Tell them they've got to come and get it themselves.
Oh my God. And we still take in more people every year than France has citizens.
Of course.
And they're like, oh, you guys need to let, but you guys don't let people in your country. Criminy. I mean, which is crazy because this ridiculous European Union thing they're doing, you can just drive across the borders of these nations now.
Some of the nations are putting their borders back up.
Good. Good.
Hungary, Poland.
Well, especially Poland, man. Poland, it's Slavic. And I don't know if everyone knows this, but that's where the word slave comes from. They are the most invaded, conquered, and enslaved people in the history of the world. The Slavs. That's what parts of Ukraine, Lithuania, Poland, that whole Eastern Europe bloc, you know?
Estonia and all that. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. I was talking to someone about this conflict with Russia and Ukraine the other day. And I was like, oh, I don't know, man. It's like they got a military base and tons of stuff in Georgia right now that could easily go and do what Russia wants to get done. And they're like, they're not in Georgia. I was like, yeah, it's like, it's not even like a question. They're allies. He goes, Georgia's a fucking state. And I was like, yes, and there's also a country called Georgia over next to Russia.
That's
I
where the
don't know
name came
that.
from.
Yeah, but I was like, oh my god, people are arguing these policies and what's going on, and didn't even bother to find out what's actually happening. And that's your average person, honestly. And let's be real. I mean, the four of us here pay attention to what's going on, but none of us knows everything that's happening, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Well, what's hilarious is we got one person doesn't even live in the U.S. that knows more about American politics than most Americans.
Yeah. This is like fucking daytime TV for him, though, and a prediction of what his country's going to be.
I've just turned off those lies, lads. I think it's Young and the Restless.
Hey, if you ever come back to the States, because I know you were here, why the fuck didn't you hit me up to get together and do something, man? I could have showed you around Boston and Plymouth.
I will. I want to do the East Coast next time, so I'll definitely come to see you, lads.
Okay, so let's see. As I move out of the Boston area, I mean, I would have showed you all the cool stuff in Boston.
There's no cool stuff in Boston.
Dude, Old North Church is still there. The Old North Church with the lanterns, one if I land, two if I see. That's still there.
Cheers ain't there.
The green dragon, the green dragon. God, can I talk?
Yeah, you got Bunker Hill. You got Lexington and Concord. I could show you the site where the Boston.
I can show you more shit in the Norfolk area with Fort Monroe.
There was a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff in Virginia.
I would love to go to a Red Sox game with you, brother.
I can show you where William Jefferson Davis was held captive for years.
Oh, and where Jamestown was.
Yep.
Where the disappearing colony.
Yep.
All sorts of cool stuff happened in Virginia. Pretty sure
General MacArthur, rest in place.
Yeah, and you know what? I'd like to see Atlanta one day, just so I could be like, "Holy shit! Sherman burned all this to the ground."
I'm going to come back, lads. I'm definitely on.
Dude, honestly, you know who burned down Richmond once?
No.
That British.
No, the guy
Probably
that
the North
betrayed
end.
America. The guy that betrayed America. What's his name? The revolutionary.
Paul Revere.
No, the guy that was with George Washington. He's a traitor now.
Benedict Arnold.
Benedict Arnold. He burned Richmond down, but then later on the Confederates burned it down themselves, and that's what Richmond got burned down twice.
Well, fucking the British burned down the White House.
Oh, that's true too.
That's crazy.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and for some reason, no one knows this. Like, how do you not know the White? We were invaded by a foreign nation, and they burned down the White House.
Yep.
Dude, honestly, I was thinking about this, and United States was it's a rebel country. They want to pay the taxes. In order to the United States to become United States, we have to commit.
Now we're all about the taxes.
We had to commit a coup d'état from the previous country we were turned into after the Revolutionary War.
Yeah, well, I brought that up to a lot of people up in Boston when I was living in the area.
They don't care.
Well, yeah, they don't. But I was like, what happened to the balls in Boston? And they're like, oh, what are you talking about? I was like, you guys fucking started a revolution over a 3% tax on tea, and now you're begging for more taxes. Please. The Boston, the Tea Party, man. Come on. All right. Let's move on here. The Attorney General of Texas is investigating that swimming thing. Did you see this swimming thing?
I did.
Yeah, this trans competitor, this dude competed with the women and took 7 medals or something, 7 races. Oh my god, that's ridiculous. And we keep pointing this out and like, oh, I don't see a difference. I don't see a problem with it. It's like, yeah, until this rugby star who had her fucking femur dislocated from her hip when she was hit by a dude, when she was taken down by a dude.
Yeah, and the people in the swimming competition came back and said they didn't even know this was a biological male that was swimming.
God damn.
And you can bring up that whole hormones thing. Yeah, I get it. How long does that take to reduce your bone mass and reduce your fast twitch muscle tissue and muscle tissue in general?
I don't
It's
know.
not Joe Biden.
Yeah. I just start taking Joe Biden's freaking prostate medicine.
But you're still going to have it, mate, because you're still training, so you're not going to lose much.
Exactly. You're still working out. You're still exercising, and you don't just say I'm a woman and take a couple of hormones for a couple months. Well, they're saying 6 months is typically acceptable. Like, no, you still weigh freaking 210 pounds and you're 6'3". You know what I mean? That doesn't seem fair. Oh my God. Can you imagine Brock Lesnar, right? Just says, I'm a woman now. And starts fighting MMA battles against women. Oh my God. He would literally kill people. He almost killed men.
There's that dude who's still playing as a softball. Did you see him? He's 6'3". He's a pitcher. And he's playing female softball.
And it just, I don't know, man. It just seems nuts that people don't see a difference between the two. And what the funny thing is, they have to keep it a mental disorder in the DSM, because if they don't, they won't get medication for their dysphoria. You don't medicate something that's not an issue, you know. But the I don't know, man. You find yourself an anorexic. You don't support their truth and allow them to keep starving themselves because they think that they're fat, you know. And what's the word I'm looking for here when you give into someone's delusions and just I can't think of the word. There's a word for when you like help them with their delusion.
It's not indulgent. It's facilitate. Facilitate. Yeah.
All right. Somebody's unplugging their headphones.
Oh, me.
A judge in Cali is now saying that the parents have to be notified if their kids decide that they're come out and tell their teachers or guidance counselors that they're trans. Because for a while they didn't have to tell their parents. So a judge like, no, you absolutely have to tell their parents. And they're allowing these parents to opt their kids out of these gender lessons in elementary school.
Good. Go with that judge, especially California.
Yeah. Well, I mean, shit. When I went to school, in high school, I had to get my parents to sign a permission slip to do sex ed.
Yeah.
And now you're just teaching it to elementary school kids without any paperwork? Without even telling the parents that you're going to do it.
There's a bigger thing there, but like, there's a bigger picture. You look at it, they're teaching the kids to be deceptive.
Yeah. Yes.
Don't
judge your parents, trust me.
Yeah, you even look at the federal election. They're trying to get women to say, I won't tell my husband that I voted Democrat.
I'm going to say I'm voting Trump, but I'm actually going to vote Democrat. Like, ooh, you're trying to break up marriages here.
What's the level of deception that they're going to? Like, they're going from the kids to the females now. Like,
yeah. And I don't understand that either. Like, that right there, great point is that they're teaching everyone. They're trying to teach everyone to lie to everyone about everything. And that's insane.
Yeah. That's criminal.
While we're talking about it should be criminal to talk to elementary school kids about any kind of sex or anything like that.
Yep.
And like what Florida did it, they called it "Don't Say Gay" bill. It's like, no, that had nothing to do with it. You weren't allowed to talk to an elementary school kid about you having sex with your wife either, okay?
Right.
Let alone banging your husband in his butt. You don't have to be telling my kids about sex. You don't. And you definitely don't need to show them books showing how to give a BJ.
No, not at all.
That book, one of the books that was banned because, the Republicans are so evil. This book is gay. Gave instructions to give a beach and showed you how to get onto Tinder and use Tinder. No, not Tinder. What's the gay one?
A Grindr.
Grindr. How to get on and use Grindr. Like, what are you doing giving this to kids? Like, even when I took sex ed in school, they always said abstinence is always the best option when it comes to this stuff.
Yep.
And I understand not everyone's going to be abstinent, but don't go and say, here's how you do it, and here's how you get access. And, geez, Guapo's headphones just need to fit better, huh?
My bad.
All right. Well, while we're talking about California, Newsom, Newsom's budget for California was $11.9 billion, so almost $12 billion short and he's saying it's pretty mild, and then blame Trump. California, and this is right after he was all excited about moving up another spot in the world economies.
Well, this is also he also is covering the healthcare of illegal immigrants.
True, and not putting out or not getting ready to put out forest fires. So, there you go. Which is hilarious, though, because I left my ass off when I read this next one that you sent out, Bri. The barber in Los Angeles blasted baby shark to chase off the homeless people
Yep.
that were congregating around his business. I'm like, that dude voted Republican?
Probably.
And I know that because he runs a business instead of complaining about how the person who owns the business he works for makes more money than him.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, man. That's awesome that this guy freaking blasted baby shark to piss everyone off. And you know what? I'll just go set up my tent and shit somewhere else. Speaking of shitting somewhere else, see this Amazon driver in Los Angeles once again got fired from her job for pissing and shitting in someone's front yard.
That's a chick you're talking about?
I think it was a woman. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that. I mean,
that was also.
I saw the picture. I saw the video. I did not need to see the video.
Why did you print a video of her pooping out there?
Oh my god! I mean, she wasn't bad looking either. Like, yeah, I tapped that.
Once you see a turd come flying out of someone, you're like, nope.
You went Amber Heard on me. Nope, I'm good.
She frosted me like a cupcake, man.
I saw a picture of the Amber Heard, like, just like Johnny Depp. I bet it. You will let her ruin your life too.
Yeah. Oh man, she fucked that dude's world up, and then everyone hated him for the longest time. They stopped making Pirates of the Caribbean because of that.
Yeah, well, she fucked it up.
Which, I mean, it was time to stop anyway, but all right. So Kash Patel is saying that the FBI ran cover for Hillary Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure that's pretty obvious because that whole server thing.
Well, Comey came out and said that nobody would, in their right mind, would prosecute her for that.
For putting official government documents on her own private server that she hid in her bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Trump did it, he would already be in a courtroom.
When I knew that Comey was useless.
That was when I was certain of it anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, how much did the FBI? The FBI decided not to prosecute Biden and then went and prosecuted Trump for the same thing.
Yep.
Which, by the way, did you hear the Axios report that the leak interview of her and Biden?
No.
Oh, that interview when they decided whether or not to charge him has leaked out, and Axios published it. Oh my God! All this stuff that they said was going on, why they didn't prosecute him? You could hear it right there. Like he was off by like 4 years when his son died. He was talking about stuff when he was senator, when he was president. That happened when he was president.
Are you talking about the Bill Hur interview?
Yeah, the Hur Biden interview. Yeah, it's been leaked out. You can get it on Axios.
Yeah.
Which is interesting watching Axios turn around and start trying to get back towards the middle.
You know, James Coney was right. Who would prosecute Hillary?
Unless you want to die.
Yeah. Get stabbed in the back 3 times and leave yourself a note, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still shocked that this dude managed to hang himself after shooting himself in the back of the head. Like, that was impressive.
Yeah.
Right after he said, I have evidence that could feed to Hillary Clinton being arrested. All right. And now, see, they were talking about this for a while, moving FBI personnel out of D.C.
Yep.
But for some reason, the news picked up he's going to fire all these federal agents. He's like, no, why do we have so many feds, FBI agents in D.C.? What are you doing in D.C.? Why don't we put you guys...
The headquarters need to be like torn down and rebuilt again.
Tear it down and move it to Wisconsin. Let's spread some of this stuff out so that everyone doesn't have the same fucking opinion about everything.
Because the old building ain't up to code.
Either way, it doesn't have to be in DC. This is a big honking country.
Yeah.
Let's spread some of these guys out and do some actual fucking law enforcement instead of trying to find a way to put Bill Clinton, put Donald Trump in prison. All right.
Put them in Oklahoma. Fuck it. Underground bunker.
Yeah. Put them on the border. Put them on the border and say, anyone who's not legal, turn around at the border so we don't have to deport them. All right. Sure, you guys saw this prison break-in in New Orleans.
Yep.
10 dudes escaped. Last I saw, 3 have been caught.
There's more than that now.
There are 6 so far.
Okay. Oh, so they have 6 of the 10 now?
Yeah, I think 6 or 5, something like that.
Okay. Well, at least they're finding these folks. Well, an employee of the jail, some maintenance worker, has been arrested for helping them get out.
You have to admit, dude, if you end up in jail because you're not the brightest, the sharpest tool in the shed, you got caught. You did a crime.
Yeah.
You got caught.
Well, did you see the crimes these people were charged with?
No, like
there were like 4 murderers, 2 attempted murderers, and a couple other these aren't little crimes that they were awaiting trial for.
That's fine, but they're probably all emotion of the way they happened. It wasn't planned or anything. They got caught.
Yeah.
You know, so they're probably gonna get caught out there in the wild.
Well, it's been enough time for some of these guys to get out of the country.
The one you have to worry about, the one that you commit a murder and you never find the evidence against them. That's the one you have to worry about.
The thing is, like, at least if you had a trial, you had a chance to not go to prison the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Now you broke out of jail before trial.
This is before. No, I thought they're already convicted.
It was a jail, not a prison.
Oh shit! Now you fucked up. You fucked up.
Yeah,
you
done,
fucked
dude.
up. You done. Sorry. This is
what is it, like 10 years? It's like 10 years for breaking out of prison.
Yeah,
so what is it for breaking out of jail in New Orleans?
Too, you know. If I was like one of them, if I was innocent, like I'm not going in there. Fuck that. You know, like hey, look, escape. I'm here. Let me do my time, or let me defend myself against the crime. And
that lets you know that these people were in fact guilty. Because if they were innocent, they would have had at least a little bit of faith in a trial.
Yep. Yeah.
And they said, "Shit, I'm in jail now. I need to get out now before I'm in prison when I'll never get out."
Oh, they were innocent. You just dumb. I didn't believe in the system, and this is what happened.
Yeah. I don't believe in the system because I'm sitting in jail for something I didn't do.
Yeah. No, like you know what? Let me fight it. You fight in the court, not on the street. You know. At least you get hurt on the street. You know. And if you roughly arrested, then you can sue. You know.
Yeah. Well, did you see the feds? A judge has seized control of Rikers Island from New York.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he wrote a 77-page ruling saying that these are unconstitutional conditions. It's not safe. Nothing's right there. And I mean, I don't know how much the Aussie knows about Rikers Island, but it's like a notorious prison in the States. It's people more. I think they have more people die in that prison than any other prison in the country. Any more stuff here in leftovers that you want to discuss?
Let's talk about the last thing. I want to hear the repeat offender on it.
The what now?
And it's something dealing with Australia.
Oh, you want to hear something
international?
At the very bottom?
Yep.
Okay, because I have no idea who these people are. Peter Dutton and Adam Bant.
Yes. Yeah, sorry, right, go on.
They beat the Labour Party's most optimistic expectations. What exactly is this referring to? What does it mean?
Righto. What happened was Adam Bant, he was a radical. He was the leader of the Greens Party, the conservative, not as in Republican, but like the wilderness fighters, the Greens in Australia. They're a political party. They've actually got shredded apart Labor, which is like your Democratic Party, have come into power.
Damn.
And Peter Dutton was the leader of the Liberal Party. That would have been like your Republicans. They've got another party with them. It's called the Liberal National Party. The National Party's sort of like from the country regions, like the wheat the farmers and all that sort of stuff, the people in the land. They're the National Party. So they united. They lost so many seats in representative, like in Senate and in the House of Representatives, your Congress, that they're totally like now Liberal and the Nationals have separated as well. They've split right down the middle. They're no longer a united party. And it looks like they've left the door open for the Labor Party just to split, the next election in 3 years' time. It's chaos. It's absolute chaos. And the Labor Party, which like I used to be a Labor supporter, but I wouldn't even vote them anymore. They're allowing all this migration to come in. And our biggest problem is in Australia at the moment, we've got about nearly 200-something thousand people living on the streets that are homeless. Damn. They're allowing more people in every year. We're getting 600,000 coming up.
Nobody hears about that.
If you're going to let these people in Australia, go do what the British did and toss them out of the city limits in like the desert. Not even the desert, and you guys got enough unoccupied land over there. Let's be real, right?
Oh, they wouldn't live out there, mate.
I was saying everything there wants to kill you.
They die out there.
They die. They wouldn't last a day.
You guys got Crocs or Gators?
Crocs. Big mothers.
The saltwater ones or freshwater?
Both.
Damn.
Oh,
they can live in both, mate. Saltwater and freshwater.
Well, the ones known as saltwater crocodiles you see in like South America are fucking enormous and terrifying.
Yeah, that's our boys. That's our little boys. Yeah. But the biggest thing is like talking about what you're talking about Australia. Sorry about interrupting you. In England at the moment, they've got a lot of bullshit going on with their Labor Party because the Reform Party led by Nigel Farage.
I like him.
Dude, they're against immigration. He's just watching. Sorry, mate?
No, go ahead.
Nigel Farage's Reform Party have just clean sweeped all the local elections. They just knocked out all the Tories and the Labor Party, mate.
I still have no idea how your guys' government works. I don't understand how you don't vote for a person to be in charge. You vote for a party that the party chooses. It confused the crap out of me.
This is the same thing with electoral college, dude.
Yeah, we vote for the person, like they're either a Labor or Liberal Party. But our biggest problem is we've got so many people on the ballot. So you've got so many different parties, but that's why we only had two major parties, the Liberal National and the Labor Party. And you got like marijuana party, the hookers party, like every election someone comes up with a different party.
Yeah. Oh, we get some of that here, but they never do well enough to even make the ballot most of the time for the presidency.
I vote
what's her name? Vic? What's that?
I vote for hookers.
In the pop party.
Dude, I respect her. I respect a hooker more than I respect a slut. At least she has a good sense to get paid for it.
Well, the thing about electoral college, dude, we elect elected official for the party, and they vote for us, who's the president, too.
Yeah.
Oh, breaking news!
Uh-oh.
Department of Justice opens an investigation into former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. The Justice Department has opened an investigation into Andrew Cuomo, former New York governor and top candidate for New York City mayor, following a referral from congressional Republicans who accused Cuomo of lying during an investigation of his administration's COVID-19 response. A person briefed on the matter said, "Now, isn't this what we were all saying? Was you went and put all the sick people in the nursing homes? You killed all the. You're the one who killed Granny, not me." Yeah. Killing grannies and grabbing fannies. I bet
you Chris is gonna flip sides again. Gonna go back to.
Hope the Democrats will bail him out.
Probably, we'll see. Hey, I bet you Chris Cuomo's gonna flip sides again because he flipped onto this side. Now this is what I trust flip floppers do. Like
you're a flip flopper.
I flip my pancakes. That's all.
All right.
Well, I mean. I don't mind you changing parties, especially the way the Dems have moved so far left. But that's your average citizen who's going to flip, not someone running for office at the peak of delusion.
Like even in California, a Los Angeles sheriff, he flipped the Republican now. So I was like, I don't know about you, man.
Quick question again about Australian politics.
Yep.
Do you guys have the same system as Great Britain and Canada?
Yeah. That
Do you have
which
to?
it goes, we don't have to, but the system that we used all along, it's basically what it is, because our elections are every 3 years.
Yeah, you can just
So-
take the guy out of office anytime you want to and vote for someone else, I guess.
No, we can't. It's up to the party, the cabinet, the party. Like they'll go down and they'll go in the rank and file. So
I remember a little
they'll
while
go,
ago, we were talking about this when you guys just kept kicking out everyone who was in charge, and like, how are you going to get anything done if they don't get to serve a term? You know?
we had about 4 or 5 prime ministers. You realise the guy who's just won, Anthony Albanese. He's the first prime minister to win an election after being opposition leader without being deposed in about 12 years. So what I'm saying by that is we've had about 5 or 6 different prime ministers during an election where someone else had ran, won the seat or won the prime minister's job, then got deposed. Then another one came in. We had 3 in one election cycle. So in 3 years, we had 3 different prime ministers.
How are you going to get anything done if you can't be in office long enough to get anything done?
It's power, mate. People backstab for it. People cut your throat for the power.
Now, can they still do this during like declared war?
No, they can't. See what happens is then the prime minister.
Thank God.
The prime minister then, like, the act of war comes in. It's like Winston Churchill.
Who declares war?
Well, in Australia,
yeah,
we haven't declared a war. We've gone in. We've followed England in all the way. We followed you guys in the war.
Yeah, but I thought you declared war to get involved in World War I and II.
Yeah, well, what happened was we didn't actually declare it because under our constitution, if England goes to war, we go to war with them. It's like the pact that we've got you guys. It's like NATO. It's like the pact we've got you guys in New Zealand.
All right, so it was like a NATO thing, but for every but I got you.
So if England declares war on a country, Canada will go, we'll go, New Zealand will go, India will go.
Yeah. Well, if the UK declares war, there's going to be a whole bunch of people involved in that conflict real quick.
Yeah, 100%, mate, and that's how it works. It's like if you guys go into war, you're our ally. So under our pact, we've got to go into war with you.
Oh, and Mexico is going to come with us, and Canada. Well, the entire Commonwealth.
You mean the Northern Continent?
Well, the entire yes, and then the Commonwealth. Wales, Britain. I don't know how it all fucking works. I don't care. That entire island, to include Scotland, is going with us. Australia is coming with us. Freaking half of Europe is coming with us.
Yep. That's right. And who are we going to fight?
Which is why Putin's like, I don't want to fuck with those guys. There's too many of them.
Anyway,
but who does declare war? Should Australia declare war? Who would do it? Is it your House of Representatives or the Prime Minister?
No, it comes through the Prime Minister, but what he'll do, he'll go to his cabinet. The cabinet will give the okay, and the Prime Minister will call it.
Okay, because our Congress has to declare war.
No, well, basically, it comes down to our war. We've got a war cabinet, which will go to the Prime Minister, say, yes, you've got our backing. He'll go, right, we're declaring war.
You know, I hope...
I'm out of here.
All right, have fun. Thanks for coming by.
See you, mate.
All right.
I forgot what I was going to say. I hope if the United States ever does declare war again, I say ever does, obviously it will someday again. I hope they change the Department of Defense back to the Department of War, just at least for that conflict.
Yeah,
but just my opinion.
You've got to have that backstop, mate. You've got to have a backstop, no matter what you do.
What was I just looking at? Oh yeah, this guy Jared Shaw. He's an American citizen. He plays basketball in Indonesia.
Yep.
Got busted with drugs.
Yep. He's just only bringing him over for his teammates.
Yeah, doesn't matter. You smuggled drugs into Indonesia. That's a death sentence. He is facing the death penalty right now for this.
Yep.
100%. Why would you Brittany Griner You know what I mean? It's like, we already saw this shit happen. She was in a Russian jail.
Yep.
It's like, oh,
You
it's
heard
just
of the Bali
marijuana,
Nine?
babes.
You heard of the Bali Nine, didn't you?
I've heard the term. I'm not sure what it is.
Well, it's these two guys who led these other 7 people. They were the ringleaders. Who smuggled drugs into Indonesia, into Bali.
Yeah.
These two, the 2 ringleaders got executed, and the
Yeah.
other 7 have only just been released, and that happened about nearly 20 odd years ago.
Dude. Speaking of released, an American just got released from American Air Force vet just got released from Venezuelan prison. And you know what? Good for you for surviving a Venezuelan prison as an American, right?
Yep.
Of course, it's probably not that dangerous in Venezuelan prison right now because all of their gangsters are up here in the United States. So, I mean,
For El Salvador.
yeah, exactly. All right, let's see anything else interesting here. There was a shooting in Philadelphia. 4 people were shot, and 3 teenagers were among them on a bus over some argument, which I thought was ridiculous. Did you know McDonald's had mobile food trucks?
Nope.
Neither did I. But apparently in Saudi Arabia, they do, because they brought it up for Trump, because he loves McDonald's so much. When he went there to speak to the Sheikh. And by the way, that's the first U.S. president to ever visit Saudi Arabia when in office. How much business?
Ain't got him to play YMCA. Ain't got him to play YMCA.
Yeah, right. But how much business and deals and negotiations have we had with Saudi Arabia, especially concerning the price of oil? And for how long you could only buy oil with the American dollar?
A lot.
Yeah. And it's like, and no one actually ever went to Saudi Arabia to talk to these folks?
Nope.
Crazy to me. It's crazy.
And so what he's done in Syria.
Yeah. We're going back into I thought I had that in here. Where new media, mobile, the Starbucks, basketball, Pensacola. Thought I had that in here. He shit. Decades of I could have sworn that was in here. Maybe it was under foreign policy. Huh. Oh yeah, Trump turns decade-old American policy on its head in one speech. He went to Saudi Arabia, blah 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 blah, signed a deal for $600 billion, right? Between the UAE and Qatar. Which is a lot of money. And where is it in there? Fuck. Anyway, basically we're gonna start doing business with Syria again. We haven't been doing business with them for a long time. Yeah. So hey, that's just gonna be even more money coming to this country. And I getting a good laugh out of this tariff thing when everyone lost their minds. Like, we're already bringing in more money than we were before. And we've got better trade terms with these nations because of it. And it's so much fun watching the left lose their minds over it, you know. But I think that's our show.
So I'll let you go. I was going to say, I just like the fact you said the UN. See you guys, we got this done.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's our show. Unless you got anything more you want to talk about, Brian.
Nope.
All right. Well, thank you, repeat offender, for coming out. Always have fun having you come out here. Especially giving us a little info on how the fuck the other side of the planet does their politics.
Well, pleasure, man.
Totally different.
Oh, that is the wrong. I clicked on the wrong exit music. Oh no!
I don't hear anything.
I love this tune anyway.
That's because I clicked on the wrong one.
All right.
I need. I should. When I do this again, I'm going to label them intro and outro instead of in the morning and intro 1. But I think that's our show.
All right.
All right, finish that turd off.